Welcome everyone to this week's What If, and I have a nice special guest from Energy Uplifted. I don't know if y'all have heard of him yet, but he's here, he's joining me, and we're gonna have fun this week. You know, we've already had fun in conversation here on the video. So again, you guys are always kind of jumping in the middle of it. We didn't have you eavesdropping on the top secret conversations we had going on. So, you know, now you're getting to join in. We're here to talk about this week's What If. I am joined again by Mr. Mark Noel of Energy Uplifted. Mark, share with them what you do. You know, you share plenty of inspiration, motivation. You know, there's tons that I can learn from you. You know, age and beauty. And so they need to listen to you. They need to hear about what you're doing, hear a little bit more about your story, because you have a ton of valuable knowledge to share. So tell them about it.
Well, at Energy Uplifted, I created it back in July. It was originally just because I've lived a bunch of crap in my life and learned how to get through it. To take all my negatives that were weighing me down and push through and become positive. I started this journey a little over a year ago, and I guess it's been about a year, January. So the whole purpose of Energy Uplifted is to create, motivate, and empower the world with positive energy. That's the simple version of it.
I mean, that's what matters. That simple version, that's straightforward, all right? And it's like even the name of your channel itself, Energy Uplifted, like that excites me. It gets my energy up, gets me going. I want to get everybody else going. But I mean, we're kind of along the same track. I mean, in the end, it's about adding value to people's lives. That way they can do more for themselves and get what they truly want and deserve in life. Right?
And that's exactly it.
Nice.
You just hit it right on the nose. I once was on welfare.
Good.
I was able to pull myself off of welfare to now I have I ain't rich, trust me, but I've got a 4-bedroom house in a rural area of Utah. I ain't having 3 kids and a wife in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. You know, we got it comfortable. Then when I say comfortable, that's kind of funny because the video I shot today was about our comfort zone. But yeah, right? Shameless plug. So what I'm trying to say is we can take ourselves from, no matter how low we are, we can do something better with ourselves. And people get into this rut that think the walls are too big in front of them, that they can't get through it.
All right.
And what I want to teach you is you can do it. You can do it by yourself with the tools that I've got, or you can watch the videos. If you have questions, ask me questions. I'm here for everybody. I'm like the mentor you can afford, because I'm not the guy that charges $10,000 to come talk to him. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yes, yes, I do. I do.
Let me tell you, I trained under the same people those $10,000 mentor trained under. I don't believe that $10,000. Well, let me rephrase that. I believe it's worth $10,000, but not everybody has $10,000 to get that knowledge.
Right.
Everybody needs that knowledge.
Right.
So I'm your Kmart mentor. That's the way to put it. I'm running my specials for everybody.
let's do like Target. Kmart's kind of you know, Target's like here. You know, Kmart's kind of like a little bit on the decline.
I want to be like Walmart, because I'll be in every state, in every town, and you ain't getting.
I love it. The thing is, I know exactly what you mean. I think that's the power of YouTube, and that's why I, like doing what we're doing. Is really, this is the most affordable mentoring that any of us will get. I'm watching videos, I'm trying to comment, ask questions. It's really the most affordable mentoring we will ever get. I mean, even I'm trying to open up programs and and things. And I'm battling with myself, trying to, do I charge more, less? Do I create these workshops that are super expensive? Do I stay affordable? Most of my early workshops were just pay what you may, right? That was the motto. You pay what you feel like paying. You want to pay $5? You pay $5. You want to pay $20? You pay $20. If you want to pay me more, then I'm your best friend. Right? That's right. So, and it's really about, I'm gonna offer the value that you feel is fair, and I feel like you should pay what's fair. And that's why I love these videos. I want to give as much energy and information as I can. I'm sure you like to do the same. And so that's why this What If series is so great, because it allows us to ask questions and pose questions that people typically may have never thought of. And so I don't ask these always just kind of be joking and funny, but really it's an opportunity for you, you the viewer, and all of us really to do some re-examining, to think a little bit deeper, and just to grow in ways that we never would have considered void of that question. So that's why I'm excited about this week's, because it's not that it's a crazy question or it's completely different, but we're going to try to execute this in a different way, try to make this a little interesting. And so if you're ready, Mark, if you're ready, you ready?
I'm always ready.
You're ready to roll. You told me you're ready to roll, so I don't even know why I'm warning him. So this week, What If is, I want you to explain. And so you know the behind on this. So I'm not going to, and I gave him a little bit of information, so he knows the behind on this. So I'm asking this, what was one of your biggest successes? And I want you to explain it to us. And then we're going to go a little bit deeper on that. And y'all going to have to stick with this one and really understand where we're going with this. So I have to kind of keep this secret for a second, so that way we can have fun with this. So Mark, what is one of your biggest successes? Tell us about it.
Well, other than my family, of course, because any father knows that's his first success right there.
Right.
Honestly, my biggest success is actually doing what I'm doing now, what I do today, helping people to figure things out. And let me tell you, it was not an easy road to get there.
Right.
But when you want something bad enough and you feel that just intuition, if you want to call it that, I don't know if you've seen my videos. I'm a prayerful guy. I believe in God. And so God motivates me to do what I do and get out there and spread the word.
Right.
And I do what he asks me to do when he asks me to do it. But I wasn't always like that. So that to me is my best success, is my ability to listen to the directions that I'm given and follow through.
Right. Okay. So now how does that I guess I'll give mine, and then we'll flip it and really explain kind of what we're going to get into. My biggest success, as I would put it, would be understanding what it really means to take a risk. So with this business, with what I'm doing, with speaking, you have to take opportunities. And sometimes those opportunities aren't guaranteed. And I quickly learned that these opportunities aren't always guaranteed. And that you're going to get into these situations and realize that your approaches aren't always going to be the best. Right? But I enjoyed this. I found out, my biggest success in this was realizing how big of a risk I could really take, and understanding how hard I can really push, and how much I can really deal with once I got through that big success. So it really was taking a chance, understanding that I took a chance, understanding how much of a chance I was willing to take, and then I guess going a step further was realizing that the best thing that I can do, the biggest success I could have, was really impacting people. was taking a chance to impact people, make a change, and then focus on that. I was able to do that or understand that in the end, and that was getting that lesson was the biggest success. Now, what I'm really referring to in this week's real what if is what is your biggest failure? And how would you talk about that in terms of success? So what we just did was discuss a failure, but then give you it with the coin flipped. Right? We explained it in terms of success. Now, that wasn't the easiest to explain, but it was something that I had to do, something that I think you should do. Now, Mark, if you can kind of flip yours and really let them know maybe some nitty-gritty details about your failure and then kind of connect the dots so they can understand really why that failure, in essence, was a success or a lesson in the way that served you.
Well, I'm going to share with you guys something that's really, really personal to me about my life. And I've shared it on one or two of the videos in little bits.
Okay.
So I come from a very messed up background as a kid. Okay, come from an abusive family, both physically, mentally, and sexually. To cope with those things as a 7 and 8 year old, I started drinking at 10 years old. I started smoking at 11 years old. I started doing meth at 14 years old. I was a messed up kid. I, at 17 years old, checked myself into rehab and got myself better, but I wasn't fixed by any means. I've put on weight like this, like you wouldn't believe. My biggest weight was 350. That was January of last year. Because of the methods that I've learned and the way I can cope with the history that I've had and the way that I can now have control and power over that negative crap that I had to go through as my whole life, basically. No change in diet, no change in exercise.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 310. Straight from working my energy out.
Nice.
I know people don't believe it, but that's the power that weighs you down of regret and all that stuff. I've been able to overcome all that. I am no longer an alcoholic. I don't even consider myself an alcoholic. I quit smoking. I quit doing drugs. There's nothing negative about my life except for the occasional driver that cuts me off and my brain flips, you know? I'm a human. I'm
Right.
not superhuman. I'm just like you and everybody else watching this. The difference is I went and took the time to invest in myself. And that's all I ask people to do, and that's what you're asking people to do with your what-if questions, and that's why I love them so much, because we get to look at different aspects of our lives in a different way. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, like this one today. That's going to make some people uneasy, but I guarantee you if they do the soul-searching inside, just like us, you're going to feel a hell of a lot better.
Right. Right.
So my biggest success came from all my failures.
Before I do any other discussion, right, before I move on to any other topic, the fact that you were willing to share all of that, right, and he didn't share this with me before we came on this video. Like this wasn't inside information I knew he was going to share right now. I did not know any of those things. So for you to share that, man, I mean, really, thank you. Like that inspires me, right? And that's the beauty of this, being able to talk to you, meet everybody. The motivator oftentimes gets motivated. The inspirator oftentimes gets inspired. I mean, I know those aren't words, but
hey, the mentor has to have a mentor.
I mean,
it works no matter how far you go.
Right. So that's really, I thank you. I think a lot of people can follow suit with that in terms of being willing to, one, accept the things that have happened to them, but also using those things to empower them further. I mean, when I think of the scenario I'm explaining, is I went out, I had a talk back in August. I was this big event, and it was a pay to play event. It wasn't invited. You don't get paid to speak. It was to pay to speak. Now I mean you have to pay out of pocket. I mean over four digits worth investment if you want to get on stage for an extended period of time. You had to pay to play, and I went in. I did what I needed to do, but I completely failed at properly capitalizing and monetizing that event as I should. Now I got some leads, right? I got some leads, which was great. I was excited. I had texts coming in for the first time that people were interested in what I had to offer. But I closed on zero sales. I closed on no one. And I was trying to get people to sign up and coach, sign up for coaching, and I completely dropped the ball. Now, there was a lesson, though, in the fact that, one, I started to understand, okay, these opportunities came because I did take a risk. Now, whether it was the proper financial risk, that's a whole other conversation. But I realized that, I could take that risk, right? I could go through that. I could stretch through that, and I could try that and then fail and then still be okay. All right, even here and now, I'm okay. I'm standing. I'm sitting, technically, right? But I'm standing. But when I said, okay, it was about learning that I really needed to make an impact. And one person I was closest to closing, and one person that was close to signing up, who actually seemed like they were going to sign up, the only reason they were willing is because I didn't take the time to sell them. I took the time impacting them. I took the time to actually speak to them and to give them a solution right there on the phone for free. I invested the time, I invested the energy, I invested the passion, and I gave them a result, something they could run with for free right there on the phone. Now, my other interactions, I didn't really do that. I tried to focus on, okay, how do I get the proper sales flow going? When do I introduce this? How do I handle objections? Right? But I'm not a salesman by trade. But I love helping people. And so by focusing on what I really am good at, which is helping people, that's what actually got me closer to getting the result I wanted. And so it made me realize that, I just need to focus on impact. Right? Everything's going to be okay. You take the big risks, the money's going to be there. It happens, it comes and goes. But what I need to focus on is the impact. That's how I've tried to grow here on YouTube. That's how I try to grow with family and friends. I've tried to reconnect with family after that one challenge, and I still am trying to call and do things out of the norm just to change that up. Trying to make more impact in my relationship, make more impact as a father. I mean, it's an ever-going struggle, but that is what the focus should be. That's what gets you over risks. It gets you through the letdowns, the failures. So that was the biggest success, right, from the biggest failure. But that's the biggest success because I think that's going to make the biggest difference going forward.
I have three words.
That's what I got.
3 words to live by. Okay, and I talked about it and I don't even know which one of it was one of the first 5 videos, I think.
Okay.
But the 3 words are love the people. I don't worry about my money.
Nice.
Money is not a value. And that's what people don't understand is they tend to take themselves and say, I'm as valuable as the money in my pocket. So if I got a $100 bill, I'm going to be happy. But if I got nothing, I'm going to be sad. And the money dictates their value, up and down. Well, what I try to tell people is money is a tool. We need it, just like a mechanic needs a ratchet to be able to fix your car. Right. Money does not dictate your emotions. And when you allow money to control you, then you lose sight of what's important in life. Again, with the God thing, God gave us 10 commandments. And if we just lived the first 2, we ain't got to worry. Because the other 8 don't exist if you live the first 2 properly. So love God and love your neighbor as you love yourself.
Right.
So hold your value up here regardless of where your money goes. And when you do that, the money will follow. And I can testify of that. Because as I've helped myself here,
Right.
my money is slowly creeping, and I'm loving it. Now, again, it's not a rich thing. It allows me to have abundance in just a little taste of that I can go and help other people and not worry about whether or not they can afford my services. Because you and I both know there's $10,000 mentors out there and more. And there's high-pressure mentors that do that sales thing you're talking about. And they're successful because they've learned how to persuade people to do what they do and get what they have to give. But you and I both know there's value there, that what we have is worth that $10,000. But we want to reach everybody, not just the people with money. My goal is to reach people who are on welfare or homeless and want an opportunity to do better in life. I don't care if they can't afford me. I got one guy that I work with, one of my clients, to pay me, comes and mows my lawn, pulls the weeds out of my garden. That's his payment because that's all he can give me.
Nice. Okay.
It's about loving the people, okay? And trust me, I give him the same I give my $500 and $1,000 clients. There's no difference in what I teach. It don't matter the money. The money comes. I may get a $10,000 client because that's what he wanted to pay me. I don't charge that. I tell people, kind of like what we were talking about earlier, I tell people, what is the value to you? What is enough money that's going to make you sacrifice so that you actually do and follow through? No other mentors I know give everything in their program free on YouTube. It's not about the tools and techniques for me to make my money. The tools and techniques are there so you can do better, so everybody watching this can do better. The money comes from the people who want to move faster and get that success faster. Those people who are dedicated to make that change. The videos are there to give you the tools. I'm here to help you use them. And that's what you do. Even you reach me a lot when I watch your videos. You get these what if questions and I start pondering on it. Just start thinking over and over. That cold shower challenge, I gotta admit though, that one I wasn't down with. I tried it one day. I was like, no, I need a hot shower. But other than that, you get my brain working in ways that it's not comfortable. And I love that. Because when we start getting comfortable, we start getting complacent, we stop growing. And the whole point of being here on Earth is to continue to grow. What you think?
I think you're hitting the nail on the head. I don't think there's much else I need to say to that. Right? I think, there really isn't. You put it out there. That is it. Right? This content is here for that very purpose. While I have bigger goals, right, than just these current videos for this channel. That's whenever I say welcome to the movement. If you subscribe and you're new, and I say welcome to the movement, because there really is a movement coming within you. There's also going to be a movement within the community, within the world. But those things are coming. Right? But it's all about impact. It's all about change. It's all about giving you something that can move you in your life, and that way you can then ripple. Right? I had that ripple video. Ripple that effect out to other people. So yeah, there's really nothing else much I can say to that other than, again, recap the official what if question for this week that I want the viewers, you the viewer, to answer for us down in the comments. What if you had to explain your biggest failure as if it was a success? How would you do that? And what is that failure? Let us know down below. Down below where all the cool people typically hang out. You're cool still if you don't comment, but please do. Make sure that you subscribe. Subscribe to Mark's channel, Energy Uplifted. The guy's working hard. He's doing presentations in the area out there in Utah. Are you traveling too, or are you just local right now?
I will be traveling to California. It's going to be March or April. We're still working out the total thing, but I'm going to hold my first real big, massive motivational event. We're looking at trying to do it at the Doubletree in Orange, so it's going to be right there near Disneyland.
Okay, nice. So you guys could go on vacation and get motivated at the same time. And you can buy me a ticket and, of course, bring me along. But, that's neither here or there. But
we staying with family. That's where we're from, is that area. So that's why we're doing it out.
Nice. Lucky. But, yeah, please check out his channel. Make sure you subscribe to him. Subscribe here if you're new. Again, there are more what-if questions to come, more collabs. Hopefully, Mark and I can get on a video again. We're going to strategize and talk about how we can get together and talk some more. This has been fun. Thank you all. Say goodbye. As my usual outro, treat each day as a building block to a better future. Peace.
Season. It's, are you possessed by your possessions? Or do you possess your possessions? And it's one of those things that we got to look at and go, well, how do I know? Well, those of you who know me and have been watching the channel know that I believe in my higher power, which is God, and His Son, Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ had a young man walk up to him who had a lot of money and a lot of wealth and possessions and said, I want to be a disciple. What do I have to do? And Jesus looked at him and said, easy. Go sell everything you own. Everything. And I am going to teach you, and you can follow me. Now, how many of us would do that?